Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how I made these journals that I have listed up on my Etsy. I am showing you how I made one, but I used the same process to make all three of them. I started by using this book that was my kids, but we don't read it anymore and it was falling apart. And it is one of those hardboard books. So I just cut it down to the size that I wanted the journals, which is I think 6.5 by 8. And I cut enough to make 3 journals. And then I am going to cover it with fabric, and I just used a cotton fabric and Mod Podge to get that down. And I covered the entire board with the glue, and then you lay it on your fabric, and then you just start folding in the corners once you're done. And after you cut the fabric, you want to leave about 1 inch of a border so that you have enough fabric to overlap, and then cut your corners at an angle so that your corners are not too bulky. So now that you have all that folded down, you have something that is starting to look like a book. Now I'm making the frame for the picture that I'm using, and for this particular journal I went with a heart, but you can do any shape you want. I did a circle, you can do a square, so any shape that you'd like. But I had this cute little cat that I wanted to put in here, so I just gave it a heart. And I am using, again, Mod Podge to put that down. And you do want to make sure that you use something that can hold the weight of your paints. So if it's too thin, it might warp. So you want to make sure that it's maybe thicker than a cereal box. Here I'm covering it with gesso, and I'm using this so that the paints that I'm going to be adding on top have a better grip and also more durability so that your cover can withstand some wear and tear. For this journal, I am doing a crackle effect. So right now I am adding my base color, which is this hot pink color that I got at Target. And I'll list the name down below because I can't remember it right now. But it's from their like mod something line. And they have a bunch of pretty springy looking colors. So I'm just adding that. And then on top of this, I'm using a crackle finish, which I'll also list on the description below because I lost the footage where I show what it is. So you do want to make sure that before you add your crackle finish, your base layer is dry. Now I am adding my main color, which will be this lavender color, which is also from the same Target line. And you want to add this when your crackle medium is almost dry, because the cracks happen as the crackle finish is drying. And so the more it dries, the more it separates. So if you wait until it's completely dry, then you won't get as many cracks. So it just kind of depends what look you're going for. And I'll have this color listed down below too. Now that everything's dry, I'm ready to add my picture. And I got this picture from a little golden book. I think it's called Katie the Cat or something like that, if you wanted to get the same. But I'm sure you can find a similar picture online, or use a printable, or use any other picture that you would like. I didn't like the scalloped picture as much as I thought I would, so I ended up covering it with that ribbon that has the little rosettes, and I also added some gold wax detail. And I am working on the inside cover, for which I'm just using some pink scrapbook paper and the same fabric that I used to cover the outside. I'm just using a piece of that for the spine, so it is a little bit more flexible and it won't rip. You could use paper, but sometimes I feel like over time it might rip, which might not be a big deal, but I just went ahead and used fabric for this project. I am now adding an eyelet so that I can put a ribbon that will allow the journal to be wrapped close. Now it's time to start putting the signatures in, but first you have to punch in your holes and make sure that they're spaced out evenly. So for this, I make a template for that it allows me to space them out evenly. And I could make a more in-depth tutorial of this if you want it, but there's a ton on YouTube. So either let me know or just search for one. So yeah, and I'm just using wax linen thread in hot pink for this one to tie them in. So once you're done binding in all your signatures, you have a completed journal. And I do have a flip through of all these journals, and I think it's my last video before this one. So if you want to see more in depth, the pages that I used and how they just look as a complete journal, then go ahead and check that video out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.